Stressful and difficult situations are an inevitable part of the human experience. No matter who we are or where we come from, each of us encounters challenges that test our mental and emotional resilience. But have you ever wondered, why do some people seem to handle stress so gracefully, while others struggle to find their footing? It makes us pause and reflect. The real question isn't whether we will face adversity, but rather how we can respond to it in a healthy and constructive way. Feeling overwhelmed? Let's explore mindfulness together. Subscribe and take the next step towards a calmer, more balanced life. Step 1. Recognizing the nature of situations. The first step in dealing with stress is recognizing the nature of the situations we face. We must understand that all experiences are characterized by impermanence. Nothing is fixed, everything is fleeting. Life is a dance of constant change, a rhythm that flows and ebbs, and no situation, whether good or bad, lasts forever. When we feel deeply anxious or overwhelmed, isn't it often because we forget this fundamental truth? Think about it. Have you ever experienced someone yelling at you for a mistake, real or imagined? The words sting, the emotions flare up, anger, sadness, embarrassment. In those moments, it feels like the world is collapsing inwards, like the words and feelings are carved in stone. But are they? The truth is, they are not. These emotions are transient. They rise, they swell, and then they dissipate, just like the waves of the ocean. Yet, why do we hold on so tightly to them? Our minds, almost like a broken record, replay these moments repeatedly, and we cling to the negative emotions they evoke. It's this clinging that causes suffering. Recognizing the impermanence of these situations can help us break this painful cycle. When we acknowledge that everything is temporary, we can start to let go of our attachment to these emotions, allowing us to feel a sense of inner freedom. Wouldn't it be wonderful to move forward, unburdened by the past, free to experience the beauty of the present moment? Step 2. Accepting the impermanence of life. Once we understand that all situations are impermanent, we can begin to change our perspective on stress. Have you ever felt utterly euphoric, only to watch that feeling gradually fade away? Impermanence doesn't just apply to negative experiences but also to positive ones. This awareness, that both the highs and the lows are fleeting, is actually liberating. Isn't it comforting to know that our worst moments will pass, just as much as it's a reminder to savor the good times while they last? Accepting impermanence doesn't mean we become indifferent. It doesn't mean we stop striving or caring. Instead, it helps us cultivate a deep sense of calm, a space where we can face challenges with greater clarity. We still act, we still respond, but we do so with wisdom, with perspective. Doesn't this make the journey of life more balanced, more graceful? By embracing the transient nature of joy and sorrow, we gain a deeper appreciation for each moment, knowing that it is part of a larger, ever-changing journey. Step 3. Practicing mindfulness and calming techniques. Understanding impermanence is a profound insight, but insight alone is not always enough to prevent stress from overwhelming us. This is where mindfulness comes in, the practice of being present, without judgment, in the here and now. Mindfulness allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions without being swept away by them. How often do we truly live in the moment, instead of in the stories our minds create? Take a simple breath-focused meditation, for instance. Our breath is such a powerful tool, yet we rarely notice it. When we are stressed, our breathing becomes rapid and shallow. When we are calm, it is deep and slow. By consciously focusing on our breath, we send a message to our body: it's okay, you are safe. Isn't that beautiful? Something so simple, yet so powerful, a reminder that tranquility is always within reach, if only we pause and listen. This practice requires time and dedication. The more we practice mindful breathing in moments of peace, the more accessible it becomes in times of stress. Imagine if, in moments of chaos, we could find that deep anchor of peace within us. Wouldn't that change the way we approach every difficulty? We can also explore other mindfulness techniques, like body scans and guided visualizations, to connect more deeply with our experiences, grounding ourselves in the present moment. Step 4. Preparing during peaceful times. There's an old saying, if you sweat during times of peace, you will bleed less during times of war. How true this is when it comes to our mental resilience. Stress management is like a muscle. The more we practice during calm times, the stronger we become during times of difficulty. Just a few minutes of mindfulness each day can transform our ability to cope. Imagine setting aside time each day to practice breathing, to quiet the storm of thoughts in our minds. Over time, this becomes a source of strength. And we don't need to limit mindfulness to sitting meditation. How about eating mindfully, or walking mindfully, or even washing dishes with our full attention? Each moment, if fully lived, becomes an opportunity to cultivate peace. Step 5. Cultivating compassion, forgiveness, and loving kindness. Why is it so hard to let go of anger or resentment? Why do we hold on, even when we know it hurts us more than anyone else? Cultivating compassion and forgiveness can be our path to liberation. Forgiving doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior, it means releasing ourselves from the burden of negative emotions. Isn't that a gift worth giving ourselves? Compassion, both for ourselves and for others, transforms the way we navigate difficulties. When we face challenges with a compassionate heart, we become less reactive and more understanding. Have you ever tried loving kindness meditation, where you silently wish yourself and others well? May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be at peace. Simple words, but their effect on the heart is profound. Wouldn't it be beautiful if, instead of reacting with anger, we could respond with kindness, even in the face of adversity? Building a comprehensive approach to stress management. Stress management isn't about eliminating stress. Life without challenges wouldn't be life. It's about building a toolkit to help us navigate difficulties with grace. It's about recognizing impermanence, practicing mindfulness, cultivating compassion, and taking care of our bodies and minds. It's about finding peace not in the absence of storms, but in learning to dance in the rain. Physical well-being matters too. How often do we overlook the simple importance of a healthy diet, regular exercise, and proper sleep? Physical activity releases endorphins, lifting our mood and easing stress. Imagine taking a walk in nature, feeling the ground beneath your feet, the air on your skin. Can you feel how grounding that is? Building a support system is another key aspect of resilience. We are social beings, and having someone to share our burdens with can make all the difference. Think about a time when someone simply listened to you. Didn't it lighten the load? Knowing we are not alone brings immense comfort. Developing emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the cornerstone of resilience. Being aware of our emotions, understanding what triggers them, and learning to manage them, this is how we transform reactivity into thoughtful response. Reflective practices, like journaling, help us develop this awareness. Have you tried writing about your feelings, without judgment, as if speaking to a dear friend? It's a powerful way to understand ourselves better, to see our struggles from a broader perspective. A journey of resilience. Stressful situations are inevitable, but how we respond is within our control. We can choose to cultivate mindfulness, build emotional intelligence, maintain physical health, and nurture strong social connections. Every small step we take brings us closer to resilience. Imagine a life where stress doesn't dominate us, where we can remain calm even amidst chaos. Isn't that worth striving for? The journey to resilience is lifelong, a beautiful unfolding of growth and strength. Each moment is an opportunity to practice, to learn, to grow. And with each step, we grow stronger, more at ease, more capable of facing whatever life brings our way. Let's remember, resilience isn't about never falling, it's about rising every time we do, with grace, with wisdom, and with love. Expanding our perspective, a deeper dive into emotional growth and resilience. The journey to manage stress is far more than a collection of techniques. It's a deeply transformative path, one that requires us to explore the very essence of our being. Let's take this exploration further, shall we? Let's dive even deeper into understanding what it means to grow emotionally, to develop resilience, and to cultivate an inner life rich in peace, wisdom, and connection. The role of self-reflection, cultivating awareness and growth. Self-reflection is often an overlooked but incredibly powerful tool in managing stress and building resilience. Think about the last time you were truly honest with yourself. When was the last time you asked, "Why am I feeling this way?" or "What is truly bothering me?" We often get caught up in the cycle of stress, reacting impulsively without fully understanding the root cause of our emotions. Taking time to reflect allows us to see our behaviors and reactions from a distance, offering insight that can lead to profound personal growth. Self-reflection involves asking ourselves deep, often uncomfortable questions. Why do I react this way to criticism? What am I afraid of losing? What is it about this situation that makes me feel vulnerable? Journaling is an effective way to practice self-reflection. The act of writing down our thoughts helps us slow down, process emotions, and see patterns in our behavior that we may not have noticed otherwise. For example, you might start to notice that you feel particularly anxious in certain situations, and through reflection, you realize that these feelings are tied to a fear of failure or rejection. Awareness is the first step toward change. When we recognize our patterns, we can choose to respond differently. The power of vulnerability, embracing our true selves. Vulnerability is a word that often evokes fear, fear of being judged, fear of being hurt, fear of being seen as weak. But what if vulnerability is actually the birthplace of strength? What if allowing ourselves to be vulnerable is what truly sets us free from the chains of stress and anxiety? To be vulnerable means to show up as we are, without the masks, without the defenses. It means admitting that we don't have all the answers, that we're not perfect, and that we sometimes struggle. This can be incredibly liberating. Vulnerability allows us to connect more deeply with others, fostering relationships built on authenticity and trust. And when we know we are truly seen and accepted, even with our flaws, our resilience grows. When we are vulnerable, we also allow ourselves to feel deeply. We experience the fullness of life, the joys and sorrows, the triumphs and defeats. And isn't that what makes life rich and meaningful? When we stop running from our emotions and instead embrace them, we discover that even the most painful experiences can be transformative. They can teach us about ourselves, about love, about compassion, and about the resilience of the human spirit. The transformative power of gratitude. Gratitude is more than simply saying, "Thank you." It is a powerful practice that can transform our relationship with stress and adversity. When we practice gratitude, we shift our focus from what's lacking to what we have, from what's wrong to what's right, from fear to appreciation. This simple shift can have a profound impact on our well-being. Imagine beginning each day by reflecting on 3 things you are grateful for. It could be something as simple as the warmth of the sun on your face, the laughter of a loved one, or even the challenges that have taught you resilience. Doesn't that make you feel more centered, more at peace? Gratitude helps us cultivate a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity, reminding us that even in the face of difficulty, there is beauty to be found. Practicing gratitude also helps us break the cycle of negative thinking. Our brains are wired to focus on threats and challenges, an evolutionary mechanism that helped our ancestors survive. But in our modern world, this tendency can lead to chronic stress and anxiety. By consciously practicing gratitude, we retrain our minds to notice the positive, to appreciate the good in our lives. And over time, this practice builds resilience, allowing us to face life's challenges with a more open and optimistic heart. The importance of community, strength in connection. We often think of stress management as an individual endeavor, a personal journey to find inner peace. And while it is true that much of the work must be done within ourselves, we must not overlook the importance of community. We are social creatures, wired for connection. Our relationships with others are a fundamental part of our well-being. Think about the last time you faced a difficult situation. Did having someone to talk to make a difference? Did a comforting word, a listening ear, or a shared experience lighten your burden? Human connection has the power to heal, to uplift, and to strengthen. When we know that we are not alone, that others care about us, our resilience grows. Building a support network is not just about having people to lean on in times of trouble, it's also about sharing in each other's joys, celebrating successes, and supporting each other's growth. It's about creating a sense of belonging, where we can be our true selves, free from judgment. This kind of connection nurtures our souls and gives us the strength to face whatever challenges come our way. Cultivating patience, the art of allowing. Patience is a virtue often extolled but seldom practiced. In our fast-paced world, we want immediate solutions, quick fixes, and instant relief. But true growth, true healing, takes time. Stress is not something that can be eliminated overnight. Resilience is not something that can be built in a day. It is a process, a slow, steady unfolding that requires patience and perseverance. Patience is the art of allowing ourselves to be where we are, without judgment, without rushing to change things. It is about trusting the process, trusting that even if we don't see immediate results, the seeds we plant today will eventually bear fruit. Imagine a gardener tending to a plant. She waters it, nourishes it, gives it sunlight, and then waits. She doesn't pull on the leaves to make it grow faster. She trusts that in time, it will blossom. In the same way, we must be patient with ourselves. We must allow ourselves to feel what we feel, to be where we are, and to trust that with time, growth will come. This kind of patience is not passive, it is active, it is engaged, it is full of hope. It is the quiet confidence that we are on the right path, even when we cannot yet see the destination. Reframing challenges as opportunities for growth. One of the most powerful shifts we can make in our journey to resilience is to reframe challenges as opportunities for growth. Instead of seeing difficulties as obstacles to overcome, what if we saw them as teachers? What if we viewed each stressful situation as an invitation to learn, to grow, to become more of who we are meant to be? This doesn't mean that challenges are easy, or that we should be grateful for suffering. But it does mean that we can find meaning in our struggles. We can choose to see them as part of our journey, as opportunities to develop qualities like patience, compassion, courage, and wisdom. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to practice resilience, to deepen our understanding of ourselves, and to cultivate inner strength. Think about a time in your life when you faced a significant challenge. How did it change you? What did you learn about yourself? How did it shape the person you are today? Often, it is through our most difficult experiences that we grow the most. They force us to dig deep, to find resources within ourselves that we didn't know we had. And when we come out on the other side, we are stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The practice of letting go, releasing control. Stress often arises from our desire to control our circumstances, to control outcomes, to control how others perceive us. But the truth is, much of life is beyond our control. We cannot control the actions of others, we cannot control the unfolding of events, and we cannot control the passage of time. What we can control is how we respond. Letting go is not about giving up, it is about releasing our attachment to outcomes. It is about doing our best, and then trusting that whatever happens, we will be okay. It is about acknowledging that we are not in control of everything, and that's okay. Letting go is an act of surrender, not of defeat, but of trust. It is the realization that we are part of something greater, that we do not have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. Imagine holding onto a rope with all your might, your hands aching, your muscles straining. Now imagine letting go, releasing the tension, feeling the relief. Letting go is like that. It is a release, a surrender, a profound act of self-compassion. It allows us to stop fighting against life and instead flow with it, to find peace in the midst of uncertainty. A holistic approach, integrating mind, body, and spirit. True resilience involves the integration of mind, body, and spirit. It is not enough to address our thoughts and emotions, we must also care for our physical bodies and nurture our spirits. Physical activity, a balanced diet, adequate sleep, these are the foundations of physical well-being, and they have a profound impact on our mental and emotional health. Exercise, in particular, is a powerful stress reliever. It releases endorphins, the body's natural mood boosters, and helps reduce levels of stress hormones like cortisol. Whether it's jogging, yoga, dancing, or simply taking a walk in nature, physical movement helps us release tension and reconnect with our bodies. It grounds us, reminding us that we are more than our thoughts and emotions, we are living, breathing beings, connected to the earth and to each other. Nurturing our spirit is equally important. This may mean different things to different people: prayer, meditation, time in nature, creative expression, or simply being present with loved ones. It is about connecting with something greater than ourselves, finding meaning and purpose, and cultivating a sense of awe and wonder at the beauty of life. When we nurture our spirit, we strengthen our resilience, allowing us to face challenges with a sense of inner peace and purpose. The journey continues, a lifelong practice. The journey to resilience is not a destination, it is a lifelong practice. It is a path of growth, of transformation, of becoming. Each day, each moment, is an opportunity to practice, to cultivate mindfulness, to develop emotional intelligence, to care for our bodies, to connect with others, to be patient, to let go, to find gratitude, to grow. It is a journey that requires courage, the courage to face ourselves, to embrace our vulnerabilities, to let go of what no longer serves us, to step into the unknown. It is a journey that requires hope, the hope that no matter what challenges we face, we have within us the strength to overcome them. And it is a journey that requires love, love for ourselves, love for others, love for life itself. Let us remember that resilience is not about never falling, it is about rising every time we do, with grace, with wisdom, with love. Let us remember that the challenges we face are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth. Let us remember that we are not alone, that we are part of a larger whole, connected to each other, to the earth, to something greater. And let us continue, step by step, moment by moment, on this beautiful journey of inner growth, knowing that each breath, each choice, each act of courage brings us closer to the peace, the strength, and the joy that lies within us all.